What is up, guys? It is your boy Keep It Real. I want to thank you guys for tuning into today's video. I hope your day is going great and that your week has been blessed. To start this off, I want to say that this really sucks. Why it sucks is because I'm a huge Last of Us fan and I was really hoping for something new. But sometimes we can't get something new and we can only enhance on the things of the past. But when the things of the past are already meant, what is the point of going back and saying that you're going to upgrade something that doesn't really need upgrading? So let's read. On Tech Radar, it was recently revealed that a composer for The Last of Us Part 2 stated something along the lines of new editions of The Last of Us Part 2. The Last of Us Part 2 is not an old game. So what exactly could they mean, new editions? Last of Us Part 1 just recently got a remake. So let's just take a look. On Tech Radar, it says The Last of Us 2 PS5 version seemingly confirmed by the game's composer. It seems like the long rumored, long expected The Last of Us Part 2 PS5 edition, a native PS5 edition or re release, has just been confirmed. I am tired of re releases. I love games getting enhanced, but when you try to resell something, unless this is a free update, this shouldn't be coming out at all because the game plays fine, it's beautiful. So let's keep reading. Or at least strongly hinted at by the series composer Gustavo. No, this is not a huge surprise, but perhaps the means by which the reveal has come about is a little off the beaten track. Let's skip a little bit, guys. So he says, after he's saying that, hey, I appeared in the game, he talks about his cameo, but then he says, in the new editions, you're gonna be able to make me play certain tracks. Now I'm gonna stop right there. When people that were part of a game start talking about new additions, they don't necessarily mean new game. It probably means a re-release. The PS5 version already got an update to make it a 60 FPS, 4K, whatever the resolution you want to choose is. This game released June 19, 2020. The PS5 edition released in 2021. It was a really good reviewed game by critics, and it was a very divided game by consumers such as me and yourself. We all know what happened in the game. If you saw the news, it leaked way before it came out, and let's just say it left us split. When I purchased the game myself, I'm talking from experience, guys. When I purchased the game myself, I was kind of disappointed that I didn't get the multiplayer. Why didn't I get the multiplayer? I don't know. Maybe because they wanted to expand and make a huge multiplayer standalone game. But guess what? That's pretty much scrapped now. We covered it in a few videos back about how basically it got delayed indefinitely and they're not really working on this project as much as they had hoped, and they're actually looking to start a new IP or new game at the Naughty Dog studio. Probably another The Last of Us if they're trying to re-release The Last of Us Part 2. The Last of Us Part 1 remake released September 2nd, 2022. So it had only been a 2-year release from The Last of Us Part 2. And we all know that, yes, The Last of Us Part 1 was dated. The mechanics were a little dated. I mean, in Last of Us Part 2, that's people's biggest complaint. The combat is a little mid. It's kind of that same cover, shoot, cover, shoot. It doesn't really feel that crazy. But it did get well reviewed because the game needed a visual enhancement. I can't lie. It is an amazing and beautiful game after the enhancement. And this game well deserved it. It later released on PC and, to pretty much nobody's surprise, kind of ran like Dookie. Now let's go back to Last of Us Part 2 because that's the main topic. When I purchased this game in about 2020, I purchased it on the PS4. And I didn't even play the game for a while because I had heard the PS5 was going to come out. I bought it near the end of 2020. And then I was like, wait a second, the PS5 is coming out, so I'll just wait. Maybe they'll have a patch. And in 2021, they released a patch for The Last of Us, which was 60 FPS. So the game was probably the best I could have ever played it. So to tell me that now you're re-releasing it essentially again, probably going to charge full price for something that is already fine. I'm going to show you guys some gameplay and then we're going to talk about it because take a look at this Last of Us PS5 upgrade patch running at 4K 60 FPS. And you tell me if you think that looks like dated graphics that really needs a re-release for the PS5. This is the PS5 version.
Okay, Hillcrest. Is this the right place? Definitely the right place.
I mean, just look at this thing. You cannot tell me that this game looks bad. This game was a beautiful experience. I'm hoping that we get new details about this because from what I'm seeing here, this does not call for a re-release unless they're trying to have a quick cash grab. All right? That's why this topic was brought up. Because not only did The Last of Us Part 1 get a remake, which was called for, now they're trying to do it again with the Part 2. A new edition of Part 2. What are you going to do? What are you going to offer the consumers that is worth an upgrade? What is worth me paying another $70, another $15, shoot, another $5? What would be worth it? Are you going to give me a multiplayer? Are you going to give me new ray tracing? What? I don't care about ray tracing. I care about playing a beautiful game. If the game already looks beautiful without ray tracing, don't charge me for ray tracing. Why do we have a re-release? Unless it's like The Witcher, I don't want it. The Witcher 3 released a free upgrade patch after a much needed time where it was looking a little dated. And that patch was amazing. It touched upon features that everybody needed, everybody had been asking for, and it added so much stuff. However, that was an open world RPG game. Last of Us Part 2 is very linear. It's a very linear story. You go down a path. So if you're going down a path, there's not much. You can't add a cake in the corner and be like, hey, this is what you paid $10 for. Add posters that you can collect. That should have already been in the game. Let's take a look at The Last of Us PS5 remake just to show you guys that these graphics from the Part 2 and the Part 1 don't look that different. And this is a remake. That was the whole point.
Daddy, I'm scared.
Keep your eyes closed, honey. Keep running.
Those people are on fire.
Don't look, Sarah. Keep looking at me, baby.
All right, from what you guys just saw there, you can also tell me that that looks very similar to the Part 2 gameplay. The regular release, it's not a re-release, it's just the PS5 upgrade. It's just running at 60 FPS. This game was built from the ground up to look like Last of Us Part 2, so I don't understand why they're thinking about new additions. I have no problems with remakes, I have no issues with that. For example, Resident Evil 4, a much needed game remake. 2005 it released. The game played fine. You could go back and play it, but man, the graphics look like Dookie. You can't sit there and tell me that it looked good. Dead Space, another great example from 2007, decades old. Decades, not 3-4 years. Decades. Alan Wake remastered. Resident Evil 2, amazing experience, by the way. Beautiful graphics, beautiful combat, everything was pinpoint. The Last of Us Part 1, beautiful remake. Oh, look at that, Diablo Demon Souls. Oh my goodness, when Demon Souls was shown at the PlayStation Showcase back when the PS5 was first released, my balls dropped. I gained about 10 pounds of testosterone right on my nuts because that was crazy. That game doesn't even look anything like it. But that's my point, guys. When a game doesn't look anything like its re-release, it's worth it. When the game is just a slightly tweaked visual enhancement, leave it in the garbage. Leave it till the next generation. Leave it. Hey, don't even waste any time on this. Just work on a different game. If you haven't played The Last of Us Part 2, and they release a new version for $70, and they tell you that it's more worth it, I can assure you that you could have bought the original release from 2020 and you'll probably get a very similar experience. It's probably like that buy the COD on PS4, pay $10 more to get it on PS5. That's what this feels like. And it just scares me because this is PlayStation's exclusive. This is a big franchise. We don't need a Last of Us Part 2 Enhanced Edition. The game is already one of the most beautiful games. It won Game of the Year. It really gets under my skin when companies have just become so lazy that they are just ready to re-release anything that had just come out in the 5 years. It hasn't even been a decade. At least let the game live. The game hasn't even died yet. There are still people that play the game. It is still lively. People still talk about it. Okay, there are people that love the game. I am one of those people. I wasn't a big fan of the story, but the mechanics, the graphics, everything was meant. I can't sit here and lie to myself. I am just disappointed. Naughty Dog, please keep this behind closed doors. At least if you're gonna offer us a brand new Last of Us Part 2 edition, please don't just make it one of these skins. Don't make it something that's just a sugar coat. If you're gonna make an enhanced version of a game that's only a few years old, please give us something like a mode. If you're gonna make it, release the multiplayer. That's all I gotta say. I'm sorry for my anger, guys. This just really just irks my nerves. I just don't like to see when companies have a good product and instead of just making something new, they just run right back to buy some time. And that is why I talked to you guys about the delay. They don't have a game plan for a while, which means that they're gonna do anything in their power to squeeze a little bit of money on the way over there. Just re-release something like Jack and Daxter. Don't make this, please. With all that being said, thank you guys for tuning in to listening to my rant. I hope you have a great night. Remember to leave a like and subscribe. And again, thank you for tuning in.